Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Så que custom care con så bappa con så felina. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Hey there. Happy, I don't know, I guess it's Friday now. Second day of 2026. First day of 2026 is over. Didn't like it. Didn't go that well for me. Beltway Ben, some fun games to watch, but it was a shite day for me. Georgia's defense collapsing in the second half. But really what kicked me in the ass was there were 4 premiership games today, Beltway Ben. There were only 2 goals scored in England today in the top flight. And they were both in the Fulham Crystal Palace game, which I wasn't on. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't bet Mateta. And he was one of the only 2 blokes to score in the Prem today. Some bullshit there. VAR, a fractional offsides by half of someone's back heel in the City game. Could have been up very early in that match. Would have gone differently. Anyway, it was a shite day for me. We definitely aspire to do better in the second day of the new year. How was your Thursday, Ben?
Started fine. As everybody knows, I was on Texas Tech, but I was on that game a lot of different ways. And ultimately, being on Texas Tech only burnt me one way. Their defense still came to play like I expected. They held Oregon down. They did what they needed to. The under cashed for the game. We had a bunch of field goals in it. And even that was with Dan Lanning going for it 15 times when he could have taken a field goal. So that didn't burn us, but Cooper Flagg having 12 points at halftime and playing 20-some minutes in the second half and scoring 0 points was not something I had on my bingo card. I'm not sure anybody did. I could not believe that's what screwed us on that NBA parlay. Still kicking myself, frustrated about that one. I just couldn't believe what I saw. It just felt very weird. I'll say that. And outside of that, I mean, we lost Georgia there. That was pretty costly. They could have won that game. They also needed like 14 more rushing yards. So that one was unfortunate. I said Texas Tech earlier, but outside of that, it was a fine day. The plus 180 kept us afloat, so we didn't finish down too bad. And James Harden right now is still playing. Hopefully he can get us to 10 assists, because I think if he gets us to 10 assists, we'll be right around even or a little up. If not, we'll be down a little bit. But it wasn't an awful day. Could have still been a little bit better with a Georgia win.
Well, appreciate your flexibility. I'm going to be out of pocket all morning tomorrow and traveling and doing family stuff. So we want to get you our Friday plays now. And you know what? Better early than late. If you're new to the show, pretty simple. Rundown kind of tells the story. We're going to give you our favorite bets in that format. Fourth down could get a little weird, or it could be fourth and short to get you paid quickly, or fourth and long. Overtime, we've got football and football parlays every day, because it is the season. And I'm going to go back to footy. And we were worried that Leeds might adopt some squad rotation today against Liverpool, and they did. And Calvert-Lewin was on the bench and only played the final 20 minutes or so. Scored a goal, fractionally offsides. I mean, he was offsides, but whatever. I like him at Man U this weekend, Beltway Ben. This weekend in 2 days. I think he will get the job done. Again, he could have scored a limited role today. Man U has not impressed me. Man U's conceding a lot of chances, and this guy's on fire. He scored in his last 6 Premiership starts. I think he's scoring for Leeds, and I think Leeds can win this match. I know their history against Man U. I'm a Leeds supporter. I get all that, but I think they're catching Man U at the perfect time. And the fact that they were able to play a B- squad today and still get points at Anfield, and still really, if anybody deserved the match, it was them. Not that they bossed it, but Liverpool were shite. I think they're going to be all in for this. And we've seen them score goals the last match against Liverpool 3. We've seen them score on Chelsea. They've been up for the matches against the bigger teams. I've also played them on the double, but for plus 350, Liverpool to win this match, Calvert-Lewin to score. We also like playing Calvert-Lewin separately, anytime goal, plus 165.
Yeah, I'll put that up there. Sorry, put it up late. But first out for me, college basketball. We're starting to get more conference play and regular
Yep.
conference play, which is very good for us. We always enjoy that. We'll see more consistency and all those things. Tomorrow, I'm taking two teams that I like on the money line, bringing their number down just a little bit to get them to win by 3+ points each. Quinnipiac -2.5 and San Francisco -2.5. Parlay these two together to get -134. I didn't want to have to make it a 2-possession game to get us the plus money. I'm fine paying a little bit of juice here for this matchup. Quinnipiac, to me, is the best team in the Metro Atlantic. They're a great start to the year, 3-0. Coming into the season, I do a college basketball fantasy league. My dad and I were looking at them. There was a lot of hype around them, and one of the big reasons, Amari Monroe returns. He was the top player in that conference last year. And why was it so important he returns? He goes into the portal. I was quite familiar with him because Maryland was interested. This was before Willard became Willard, or showed his true hand. But no, Amari Monroe comes back to Quinnipiac and says there's unfinished business, and they've gotten off to just that start. They've been damn good. They were first place in the coaches poll coming into the year. They're 2-1, or Manhattan rather, is 2-1 with a loss to Marist. Quinnipiac just handled them the other day. No issue at all. Now this is a road game in conference, which is always a little bit sweaty, but Quinnipiac's been fine away from home, right? 4-3, their losses. St. John's, nobody's beating them really in that arena. UCF, another Power 5, Power 4, whatever you want to call them. And then Hofstra, who has looked really good. They've been playing solid basketball. Looks like they're going to be competing with the few teams among in that CAA. I just expect Quinnipiac to come out, do some damage, and I like them to cover the 6.5. But to be safe, take them to win by 3+. And then San Francisco, listen, a lot of hype coming around them into the season. They've struggled. They need to handle business here. San Diego is not a good basketball team. I know they played Gonzaga to a 6-point game the other night. That kind of turned some heads and got everybody bought in. And that was more Gonzaga being on the road, just kind of coasting through because they can do that in conference a lot. San Francisco struggles. Almost all of them have come on the road. They're 6-1 at home. This is a home conference game. In this conference, year by year, we're seeing it get better and better. You got to beat the San Diegos of the world. So give me Quinnipiac -2.5, San Francisco -2.5, parlayed together for -134.
Going to be in that conference on third down, Beltway Ben. Second down, we're going to go to an NBA play we've had circled for a while. Sacramento going to Phoenix. We're going to lay the 11.5 with the Suns. Suns are 11-4 against the spread at home. The Kings are 7-11 against the spread on the road. Suns are back from a 4-game road trip, had a decent road trip. They've covered 6 of their last 7 overall, whether it be home or road. They beat the Kings earlier this year by 12 at Sacramento. Very early in the year, beat them at home by just 4. But Phoenix has destroyed the low-hanging fruit. Against bottom 10 NBA teams this season, they are 10-1 against the spread. 8 of those 10 covers are by 3.5 points or more, multiple possessions. Sacramento, 6 of their last 9 losses are by 11 points or more, fitting right here with the numbers that we're looking at. Their last 15 games, the Kings are 3-12 overall straight up and 4-11 against the spread. When the Suns have been favored by 2.5 points or more this season, Beltway Ben, they are 12-0 against the spread. We're riding the trends here. We like the Suns tonight.
I'm going to go to the NBA here. And at midnight right now with the situations, we don't have a ton of props, but there are a few games just because of availability and all that. There are a few games that we do have some props for. And here's one that I want to attack. Stephon Castle over 18.5 points at -125. Victor Wembanyama's out. Thankfully, it's not too serious. We all love watching him play basketball. We don't want him.
Yeah, I was on that game the other night watching. Jeez.
I was super concerned. You know how the injury history is with him. And
did not look good at first.
No, it did not. But the tests say it's going to be fine. I'll probably miss a few games and he'll be back. We know he's a dog. We know he wants to be out there. So that's a good thing. But Vassell will also be out here Friday night. He hasn't played without both of them. Vassell's played the majority of the games this year before last game, 2 games ago when he got hurt. Castle's averaging 18 points per game. One thing that stands out, 24 without Wemby. He's played 2 games. I know it's a small sample size, but 24 points per game without Wemby. Unfortunately, he went down right around the same time as Wemby. They missed similar time. But the Pacers are allowing 126.2 points per game over their last 5, which is the 4th most in the NBA. This is a road game. Sometimes you look at guys and you got to look at splits. Stephon Castle's a guy that lives up to the moment when playing away from home. He likes the crowd. He's averaging 20.1 points per game on the road compared to just 16 at home. And it's not a drastic different sample size, right? 10 road games, 13 home games. Again, this is a guy that he's a dog. He loves those environments. Played at UConn. We know how college basketball environments are. He's been a good scorer for them and a reliable scorer for them. As soon as he came back from injury without Wemby, he went over this twice. Now, again, it's been a little bit of a roller coaster. He was over this in 3 of his last 5, but he's under in 2 straight and didn't look aggressive trying to score the basketball last game. In this matchup, when you have Wemby off the court, Vassell off the court, and you're facing a team that is just completely struggling defensively, I would expect him to be able to take advantage. The number's high. I would expect a lot of scoring from him, transition buckets. We know what he can do off of steals, all of those good things, and he can shoot the 3 a little bit. Assists scare you with him sometimes because he's good with that, but I'm leaning with his points here. Stephon Castle over 18.5 points, minus 125.
Halftime. Midnight halftime. You mentioned the West Coast Conference. We've got 2 college basketball plays in third down. Let's go out west for the first one. We're going to keep riding Loyola Marymount, and we're going to take them on the money line at Washington State. You can get this at plus 115. I thought this game would be a pick'em, Beltway Banner. My own little handicap, I'd have been willing to lay a point and a half here with Marymount. I think they're the better team. I don't think it's all that close. If you drill down on Washington State, their overall cover numbers look okay. However, when they have even rests with their opponents, they're 1-7 against the spread. They're only 2-3 against the spread at home this season. They turn the ball over 19% of their possessions. It's hard for me to take that seriously. They also rely heavily on scoring inside. 2-point offense is a big deal to them. Loyola Marymount's a top 16 KenPom 2-point defense in the country. Loyola Marymount's shooting 37% from 3. Loyola Marymount is the better rebounding team than them. And Loyola Marymount's defense just keeps impressing me the more I see of them. They are now 29th in KenPom opponent EFG, which tends to matter to me. I think they've got the more balanced offense. I think they're going to get more second chance points. I think they're going to take care of the basketball better. And I think they're going to beat Washington State on the road. We also, Beltway Ben, like the over in the Oregon-Maryland game. You can find this at 150.5. Maryland's over 8 of their last 11. They found a starting 5 that I think works for them and works for them from a scoring standpoint. I still don't know about defense. I don't know about rim protection with Farrell Payne out long term. I don't know about their overall defense, period. But I do think there's potential for a lot of points here. One thing about the Terps, man, they get to the line a ton, even without Payne, and they send the other team to the line a ton. And when you're on overs, you love the clock stopping, and you love teams getting a ton of foul shot opportunities. Oregon's a top 20 offensive rebounding team in the country. They're a top 70 overall offensive efficiency team. They've scored 80 or more in 4 straight games. I know going on the road is tough. Being on the East Coast is tough. But I think we're going to get, frankly, I think both these teams can flirt with 80 points here. Oregon has not been super special defensively. And I think, Maryland's been shooting the 3 ball really well at home. So we're going to go over on this one.
I'll be honest, looking at that game, I thought, I think Maryland's, I think they got a real shot.
Game? Yeah, I think they're game too. If they win, I think it's played in the 160s.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also like Crickets of Pain could be back. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not buying it. I don't know. I was going to give it out, but I'm like, I can't give out Maryland. I just can't. I know what I've seen. So I stayed away, but I do think, and you know me all year, I've been like, fade Maryland, fade Maryland, fade Maryland. But
yes,
here, I don't know. Oregon isn't very good either. But for me, third down, I will go back to the NBA. We're going to play Mikal Bridges over 14.5 points at minus 138. You got to pay some juice here, and that's not a fun thing to do when you're taking a guy who's been under this in 4 straight games. Bunch in a row. It's a little worrisome. I get that. He hasn't been as aggressive looking to score as I would expect, and even the coaching staff, they've talked about it. Bridges has talked about it. There's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense. We know that. Cat, Brunson. Even OG, who's a defensive specialist, he likes to score. Jordan Clarkson comes out, scores 20 plus the other night. Kolik's becoming a thing. There are a lot of scores that they have, which I fully understand. But Mikal Bridges is the Cal Ripken of the NBA right now. He plays every single game. He's playing tons of minutes in those games, so there should be opportunities for him. We just need him to be a little bit more aggressive. Last time these teams faced off, I said he's been under 10 shot attempts in 2 straight, and he hasn't been shooting a bunch. 3 games ago, he faced them, took 13 shots, played 37 minutes, and Atlanta's defense is awful. He finished with 14 points, lost on the hook. To me, if that volume's there with his ability to get to the free throw line, with his ability to knock down 2 to 3 3-pointers per game, I'm pretty sure he's going to clear it here. As long as he plays those 35 to 37 minutes he has, and just has a little bit more of aggressiveness like he had the last time they played them, like he's had for the majority of the year. If you would have told me we could take Mikal Bridges over 14.5 for the first 2 months of the season, I would have told you you're crazy. But with the situation, when Josh Hart goes down, you'd expect everybody to start scoring more, and Bridges has just kind of fallen off. It's been a little odd. But in this spot against the bad Hawks defense, I think when they do play defense, it's doing whatever they can to limit Brunson, to limit Cat. And I don't think they'll be able to do that, but I do think that it should open up some assisting opportunities for those two guys for backdoor cuts and for corner 3-pointers, which Mikal Bridges thrives in. Give me Bridges over 14.5 points at -138.
Nice. 4th down for me will be 4th and long, and we're going to go to a guy we've been playing for a few weeks now who's really solidified himself in the Jaguars passing attack. Brenton Strange has become a go-to guy for Trevor Lawrence, and we're going to play him 2 ways here. One is really fitting with 4th and long, and the other one is we just like his regular prop as well. So we like Brenton Strange to have a reception of 20 yards or more, plus 135 at bet 365. We also like him to go over 38.5 for the game. You could find that at -111. He's got a reception of 20 yards or more in 6 of the last 7 games. You look at his target share, you look at his routes run since he's come back from injury. He's getting deep seam shots all the time. Tennessee's linebackers not particularly great at covering that stuff. Tennessee have struggled against tight ends lately. Tennessee has allowed 88 receiving yards or more to tight ends in 3 of the last 4 games. They've allowed 59 receiving yards or more to tight ends in 4 of the last 5 games. When he faced Tennessee the last time, he had 3 catches for 45 yards and a touchdown. People kind of worried about Jacoby Myers trying to take some of that deep stuff away. That's really worked in Strange's favor. I think it's a favorable matchup. The quarterback trusts him right now. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he's got 50 or 60 yards in this game when it's all said and done. Jacksonville still has to win to clinch the division, and they're doing it through the air right now. And Tennessee's giving it up a little bit. So we like Strange to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, I'll play another tight end this weekend. We're going to go with Tommy Tremble over 16.5 receiving yards at -114. Jatavion Sanders officially went to the IR this week. He's going to miss at least 4 weeks, putting him out the rest of the year. And in the weeks that we've seen Tremble without Sanders, week 4, 5 catches, 42 yards. Week 5, just 1 catch for 7. Week 6, 4 catches, 39 yards. And then last week, week 17, he had just 1 catch, but did run 21 routes. That's pretty important to me because that tells me, as we saw last week, he's going to be on the field more than Evans, which is closer with this new coach. It's like Tremble was drafted with the old coaching staff, a whole different situation. Meanwhile, Mitchell Evans, of course, Notre Dame was more recent and is closer to these guys. But they like Tremble on the field in passing downs of late. And you got a Tampa Bay defense allowing 77.2 receiving yards per game to tight ends over their last 7 games. That's the second most in the NFL, behind only the Bengals, who are pure garbage, and we attacked all year long. The fact that they're even close to them should tell you all you need to know in this time frame. Young's going to have to make some throws in this game. I don't think it'll just be Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. Do I think they'll dive into them a little bit? Yes. But Tampa Bay is going to put an emphasis taking them away. It's a road environment. You know I love taking tight ends with younger quarterbacks in road environments. You win this game, you're going to the playoffs. You have another chance to get in if Atlanta could win. But I just think in a spot like this, you have to rely on the tight end. And Jatavion Sanders, reliable target for Young. You take him away. Ted McMillan's been doing things. All of those receiving options have been fine. Tommy Tremble has had some explosive games, some explosive plays, And this is 2 catches. This could, quite honestly, be 1 if they get lost in coverage. Tremble's caught multiple passes over this, ones this year and a bunch in previous years. Give me Tommy Tremble over 16.5 receiving yards at -110. Or -114, sorry.
Excellent. Overtime for me, I'm going to play 3 quarterbacks. Look, this week 18 can be dangerous, and you don't know who's going to play that much or how some of these games are going to go. I've tried to drill down on situations where the quarterback has something at stake, or there's at least trends that point me to the fact that he's probably going to go out slinging it. Let's start with Jackson Dart. I was on this in the middle of the season. It started hitting every week, and then the poor guy got hurt again. Jackson Dart, passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Only place I could find this afternoon when I played it was Bet 365 at plus 230. If you want to wait around and see as other markets develop, if you can get a better price on it, I hear you. A lot of props in this game on the Giants side have been late to materialize. Why do I like it? Well, again, it was hitting regularly, and it was especially hitting regularly at home. And it has hit in 3 of his last 5 home games. Now, he hasn't thrown a TD pass in 2 weeks. I don't think he's going into the offseason having gone a month without throwing a touchdown pass. Kafka's never going to be an NFL head coach again. What does he have to lose? And Dallas is going, Dallas, they're playing for the back of the football card. Dallas wants to accumulate points. They want to run up the score. It's back. It's finally back. So I think both teams are scoring points here. Dallas gives up points. We know that. The defense sucks. This kid had a rushing touchdown last week, so it's not like they're in the never run thing. And he doesn't have a game for 6 months. And he's been deprived of some football this year. I think Jackson Dart's going out with a bang and put on the show at the Meadowlands and letting the new coach know you've got a true first-round talent to work with. Trevor Lawrence has been cashing a lot lately. Trevor Lawrence has been doing a lot. Trevor Lawrence is in a must-win spot to win the division. Give me Trevor Lawrence 2 touchdowns through the air and 250 total yards. He has 2 passing touchdowns or more in 5 of the last 6 games. Since week 12, he's averaging 8.7 yards per attempt. Big boy stuff. That'll get you to 250, especially against the Tennessee defense. That isn't very good. Tennessee's allowed 2 or more passing touchdowns in 8 of the last 10 games. They've allowed an opposing quarterback to throw for 8.5 yards per attempt in 8 of their last 10 games. When these teams faced each other a few weeks back, Lawrence only completed 16 passes. He still had 229 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't think they're taking any chances here. I think Liam Combs going to let him sling the ball around, and I think it's a good matchup for him. We've also been playing him rushing touchdown plus 200 at 365. We're doing it again. He's got 3 straight games with a rushing touchdown. He's had 3 games now this season where he's run for at least 2 touchdowns. He's been a little bit more the finisher lately than Etienne. And people have to buy him outside the pocket, chucking the ball. It's creating some running lanes. I think he's getting into it. They're getting into it. He's playing a lot more like he did at Clemson. The legs and the RPOs are a big part of the turnaround in Jacksonville. And at plus 200, it's not going to be there by game day. And then finally, Joe Burrow to throw three touchdowns. He threw 3 or more passing touchdowns in 8 straight games to end last season. He's thrown 3 or more passing touchdowns in 2 of the last 4 games. He's thrown 4 passing touchdowns in those games. When Cincinnati's faced real quarterbacks this year, they haven't faced many. Cleveland. Drake May threw for 3 against them. Lamar Jackson threw for 4 against them. Cleveland's defense much better at home than on the road. Cincinnati had 3 rushing touchdowns last week. Burrow didn't play the 4th quarter because it was an absolute blowout over the Cardinals, and he still had 2 passing touchdowns. And again, could have easily had 3. For the payoff here, plus 225. We jumped it.
I'm going to play 2 NFL parlays for the weekend. We'll start with the earlier one from Saturday. I like my tight end parlays in here. We have 2 tight ends in the Saturday matchups. A.J. Barner, 30-plus receiving yards, and Tommy Tremble, 30-plus receiving yards, plus 434. A.J. Barner's about minus 200. He's the toss-in. Tommy Tremble is what gets us there because his 30-plus is a lot. I might play that by itself on Saturday. So for anybody watching this on Friday tomorrow, I'm probably going to be playing Tommy Tremble in a 4th and long or whatever. I think he's going to have 3 or more catches here, and there will be some volume, and there's going to be one explosive. They're going to try to take away Tet however they can. I don't think they'll have much success doing it, but when they can stop him, there's going to be other guys that eat, and Tremble has been someone who has, when we've seen Jatavion Sanders out, when Mitchell Evans is getting just 7 routes run, whatever it is. He's not going to play many snaps. I would expect Tremble to be on the field more than anybody other than Tet McMillan in that receiving game, as it's been for the majority without Sanders. AJ Barner, go look at what he's done over the past few weeks. They're starting to get him the football more. And if you listen to press conferences, which I've been diving into more and more as the year's gone on, Mike McDonald doesn't have much to do with the offense. I get that. Calls the defense. He lets his offensive guys do the offensive thing. But it does mean something when your defensive-minded head coach is sitting up there, patting you on the back, and also saying that your offensive coordinator wants to get you the football more. We heard him say with Kubiak, he was talking about how much they love Barner, the workhorse that he is, how he does all this dirty work, and they want to make him know that he's there, a part of it. And you have a San Francisco 49ers team allowing more receiving yards than all but 2 teams in the NFL of late. And we look at Colson Loveland just did. And it was a bunch of down-the-field plays, explosives. He was dominating all across the field against them. Are they going to get a little healthier? Yeah, probably. But still, with this passing offense, JSN's going to eat. Rashid Shaheed, we know he's banged up and all of that. It's got to be Barner. There has to be some throws to the tight end, as they've been doing a lot lately. Sam Darnold maybe doesn't want to throw the ball way down the field and risk those interceptions that we've seen bite him in the weeks 16 through 18 through his career, and then the few last year, especially in the playoffs. It was just ugly. So I think A.J. Barner will catch him pass here. A.J. Barner, 30-plus receiving yards. Tommy Tremble, 30-plus receiving yards. You can get those parlayed together at plus 434. Sunday night parlay here. The Baltimore Ravens on the money line, Lamar Jackson 150-plus passing yards, and Mark Andrews 2-plus receptions, plus 104. I have a feeling Mark Andrews is going to come alive in this matchup. Regardless, 2-plus receptions shouldn't be an issue. Lamar likes going to his guy. We've seen it a bunch. Pittsburgh's really struggled against tight ends, especially with short throws. And Lamar will take 4 or 5 to Andrews if he has to, especially now that he's playing with the flak jacket. You don't want to be getting hit a bunch. You're already dealing with the back injury. Did say he's feeling healthier, and he said it before the Patriots game too. And in the 2 quarters that we saw from him, he was putting the football exactly where he wanted, and it was the best passing game we've probably seen from him outside of week 1 against Buffalo. So I think he's going to have some success throwing the football. Derrick Henry, there's going to be probably a lot of volume. I'm not sure how much he gets off. Lamar should get 150-plus if he stays healthy, and Andrews should catch 2 passes. I also love the Ravens this week. Been on them all week. I think they're going to beat Pittsburgh. So Ravens on the money line, Lamar 150-plus passing, and Andrews 2-plus receptions, plus 104.
Excellent. There you have it, our midnight special. We will be back Saturday morning.
Technically tomorrow.
10-ish? Yeah. Around 10, you think?
Yeah.
Something like that? And then obviously we've got 2 NFL games on Saturday. Prem's back. Full slate of college basketball. CAA's got a schedule. I know there's at least one CAA game we're going to be on that we really like. NBA, a lot going on. And then obviously Sunday we'll be back at 11, as always, for the final full slate of regular season football. A lot of those games don't matter. I'm going to have some plays on that Sunday night game for sure, though, that I know everybody's going to be watching. We're excited about that. We're excited every time you guys tune in. Look, you can get us when you're driving on Spotify, Apple Podcast. If you can't watch, if sometimes you watch on YouTube, we're always on Twitter as well. Even if you don't watch on YouTube, you watch us somewhere else, go to Want to Bet With Us on YouTube, youtube.com/@wannabetwithus, and subscribe if you don't mind. It can't hurt. We always appreciate your feedback. wannabetwithus@gmail.com. We love that stuff, and we love giving you our best plays, and we especially love when they hit. We'll be back with the ticket and all the stuff at the beginning. This show's done on the fly right after the Georgia game, and Ben will have everything updated for us on Saturday morning when we reconvene. We wish you guys all the best with your bets. Happy New Year. You want to bet? We want to bet. Thank you for betting with us.